The Cursed Manuscript, Secrets that Could Change History. The enigma that defies time. Deep within Yale's Voynich Library lies one of humanity's most intricate enigmas. Among silent corridors and shelves laden with ancient books lies a manuscript that defies all logic, a work that has provoked amazement and fascination since its inception. Called the Voynich Manuscript, this codex is not just an ancient book, but a portal to an unknown world, an artifact that has captured the imagination of historians, cryptographers, botanists, and astronomers for centuries. The Voynich Manuscript has been shrouded in mystery since its discovery in 1912 by Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer who specialized in finding forgotten treasures. While wandering the dark corridors of a Jesuit college in Italy, he found, among stacks of dusty parchments, a codex that immediately stood out from any other document. With its 240 pages written in a language no human could understand, the manuscript contained illustrations of plants that did not exist in the real world, astrological diagrams that defied all known logic, and human figures in positions suggesting unknown rituals. The impact of his discovery was immediate. Voynich realized that this was not just an ancient book, but something deeper, something that seemed to transcend time and human knowledge. Each page held a secret, each illustration a veiled message. The manuscript, with its indecipherable text and impossible images, seemed to communicate something far beyond human understanding, provoking fascination, fear, and an almost obsessive need for understanding. Scholars over the centuries have attempted to decipher it, each approaching it from different perspectives. Linguists attempted to identify recognizable patterns and words, cryptographers applied complex code-breaking methods, while scientists attempted to correlate its plans and diagrams with existing botanical and astronomical knowledge. But despite all their efforts, the manuscript remained impenetrable. The complexity of its writing, combined with the enigmatic images, suggests that it belongs not only to our world. Some theorists go further, suggesting that the work contains records of lost knowledge or even signs of forgotten civilizations. The Voynich Manuscript is not just a challenge to the human mind, it is a test of our very perception of reality. With each attempt at translation or interpretation, new patterns emerge, but they dissipate just as quickly, leaving researchers with more questions than answers. It forces us to confront the unknown, to question our own understanding of history, science, and language. The sense that something extraordinary and dangerous lies within its pages heightens the mystery that surrounds it, making it not just a book, but a living legend that continues to fascinate and intrigue the world. The discovery and historical context. The year was 1912. Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer of Polish origin, wandered the silent, dusty corridors of a Jesuit college in the small town of Frascati, Italy. His gaze, trained by years of experience in antiquities, sought something forgotten by time. Rare manuscripts, ancient texts that carried the history and knowledge of bygone eras. He knew that many of these books were destined for oblivion, relegated to dusty storerooms, where only silence preserved their memory. But that morning, amidst piles of dusty parchments and closed cabinets, something caught his eye. One codex stood out from all the others. It was not only ancient, but exuded an aura of mystery that seemed to span the centuries. Upon opening its pages for the first time, Voynich found a text written in a language he couldn't recognize. Strange characters, fluid symbols that seemed to dance across the parchment, defied any attempt at immediate comprehension. Each page bore meticulously detailed drawings, depicting plants no modern botanist would recognize, flowers impossible to exist, and astronomical diagrams depicting constellations that seemed to correspond to no known sky. For Voynich, it was a treasure beyond imagination, but also a challenge that left him restless. There was something in this manuscript that transcended ordinary human knowledge. The manuscript's historical context is as fascinating as its contents. Carbon dating has revealed that the parchment dates back to the 15th century, a period marked by scientific discoveries, religious disputes, and intense curiosity about the unknown. It may have circulated among alchemists, scholars, and members of secret orders seeking occult knowledge. Many believe the Codex was conceived at a time when the world was beginning to question the certainties of medieval science, seeking answers in ancient texts, esoteric traditions, and mystical practices. Wilfrid Voynich brought the manuscript out of the silence of Italy and into the modern world, where it would become an enigma impossible to decipher. With each attempt to understand it, new mysteries emerged. Researchers tried to correlate its plants with known species, analyzed celestial diagrams, and sought historical parallels with medieval texts, but nothing seemed to match. The manuscript, with its complexity and perfection, challenged even the most experienced scholars, becoming a true historical, scientific, and linguistic puzzle. The impact of Voynich's discovery was not limited to the academic world. The manuscript quickly gained fame in esoteric circles, attracting curious people, occultists, and amateur cryptographers, all fascinated by the mystery it held. It was a book that seemed alive, capable of simultaneously instilling fascination and fear. Every page, every illustration, and every symbol seemed to contain hidden messages, secrets that could change our perception of history, science, and even reality itself. The botanical and astronomical sections. The Voynich manuscript is not just an indecipherable text. It is structured into sections, each with a unique complexity, each page a distinct challenge for any human mind. The first of these sections is botany, where the pages are adorned with drawings of plants that defy all natural logic. Observing each illustration, one notices the meticulous perfection of every detail: roots that intertwine like serpents, leaves arranged in ways that defy known symmetry, and flowers that resemble distorted human faces. It is as if the author intended to create something alive, a representation of species that never existed or that belonged to a parallel reality lost in time. The detailed study of these plants raises more questions than answers. None of them directly correlate with known species, and many botanists have tried, unsuccessfully, to identify patterns or relationships with existing flora. Some believe these plants may have been the brainchild of an alchemist or medieval scholar. Other, bolder theories suggest they are records of species extinct millennia ago or even from unknown worlds. What is certain is that the botanical section is an invitation to contemplation and bewilderment, a gallery of forms that challenge our understanding of the natural world. The second section, astronomical, transports the reader to the cosmos. Complex diagrams and interconnected circles describe constellations that don't correspond to known star maps. Lunar cycles are depicted, but in patterns that don't fit with familiar calendars. It's almost as if the manuscript's author were observing an otherworldly sky, a parallel universe, or a lost star map from antiquity. Some researchers believe these pages may have been attempts to record unknown celestial movements, or even to create a symbolic language representing advanced astronomical concepts for the time. The detail and precision of the astronomical illustrations are fascinating. Small stars are connected by lines, forming circular diagrams reminiscent of mandalas or astronomical measuring instruments. There are also symbols that resemble lunar phases, planets, and celestial phenomena that don't fit into traditional medieval astronomy. Some theorists suggest that these diagrams may indicate advanced astronomical knowledge, perhaps inherited from ancient civilizations or secret to occult societies. Biological and pharmacological section. The third section of the Voynich manuscript, known as the biological section, is perhaps the most enigmatic. Here, nude, almost ethereal human figures are depicted immersed in mysterious liquids, connected by green tubes that intertwine in complex patterns. Interpreting these images is challenging. Some scholars suggest they represent anatomical experiments, while others believe they represent alchemical or medicinal rituals of lost knowledge. The fourth section, pharmacological, contains formulas for elixirs and substances that promise extraordinary effects. Exotic plants and chemical compounds are combined in containers illustrated in great detail. It's impossible to determine the efficacy of these formulas, but their care and complexity indicate that this is not simply an artistic illustration. There are indications that each symbol and each combination of elements had a precise purpose, possibly linked to medical or esoteric practices of the period. The interconnection between biology and pharmacy reveals an ancient concept of macrocosm and microcosm, where the human body and the universe reflect each other. Every detail of the manuscript, whether in the impossible plants or the human diagrams, seems part of a larger system of knowledge, a symbolic map connecting science, spirituality, and mystery. Decryption attempts and failures. For decades, the Voynich Manuscript challenged the world's greatest cryptographers and linguists. William Friedman, known for breaking Nazi codes, devoted years to studying the manuscript without success. John Manley, a specialist in medieval texts, also declared himself defeated by the code's complexity. In the centuries that followed, countless scholars attempted to find patterns, translate symbols, and interpret images, but each breakthrough seemed to raise more questions than answers. The difficulty in deciphering the text doesn't lie solely in its complexity. There are linguistic patterns that suggest a structured language, with letter and syllable frequencies similar to real languages. However, no translation system has been able to provide a coherent meaning. This has led to speculation about its origin. Was it a lost language, a secret code, or an intentionally indecipherable artistic creation? Digital age and modern analysis. With the arrival of the digital age, new tools were applied to the Voynich Manuscript. Artificial intelligence algorithms, supercomputers, and statistical analysis of textual patterns were used, but the manuscript remained indecipherable. Research revealed that, although the frequency patterns suggest a structured language, there is no correspondence with any known language, reinforcing the idea of a completely isolated or possibly invented system. Researchers also applied imaging techniques to analyze the inks, pigments, and parchment. The manuscript was found to be authentic, originating from the 15th century, ruling out the possibility of modern fraud. The perfection and internal coherence indicate that every symbol, every line, and every illustration has a purpose, suggesting deliberate intelligence behind the work. Theories about the origin. Theories about the manuscript's origin are numerous. Some believe it is the work of alchemists or medieval scholars seeking to record secret knowledge about medicine, astrology, and spirituality. Others suggest it is the record of a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, or of forgotten peoples who possessed an unknown language and advanced knowledge of nature and the cosmos. There are even bolder hypotheses, suggesting that the manuscript is a record of extraterrestrial knowledge, left as a warning or test. The perfection of the botanical, astronomical, and pharmacological sections seems to indicate a worldview far beyond the time in which it was written. Connections with alchemy and the occult. The manuscript features elements reminiscent of alchemical and occult practices. Circular diagrams, esoteric symbols, and pharmacological formulas suggest secret knowledge, possibly transmitted only to initiates. The relationship between plants, humans, and the cosmos indicates a philosophy that views the universe as an interconnected system, where the microcosm and macrocosm reflect each other. The pharmacological section, in particular, is interpreted as a record of alchemical experiments, formulas for elixirs, and methods of transmutation. For occultists, the manuscript is more than a book. It is a symbolic map of the power of nature and the human mind. Extraterrestrial hypotheses and mysticism. Some scholars propose even more radical theories. The precision and complexity of the botanical, astronomical, and biological sections are evidence of non-human knowledge. It could be a text left by visitors from other worlds, a coded message for future humanity. Symbols that don't correspond to any known language reinforce this hypothesis, suggesting interplanetary communication or unknown civilizations. The manuscript also inspires mystical interpretations. Repetitive elements, circular patterns, and human figures immersed in liquids may represent initiation rituals, spiritual experiences, or symbols connecting body, mind, and the cosmos. Each page is an invitation to the unknown, a challenge to rational understanding. Final reflections and legacy. Today, the Voynich Manuscript remains untouched by time, defying centuries of study and investigation. Its yellowed pages hold secrets we perhaps shouldn't know. Within incomprehensible lines and impossible drawings lies a mystery that transcends science, history, and language. Perhaps some secrets should remain sealed forever. Perhaps the Voynich Manuscript is more than a text, but a reminder of the vastness of the unknown and our own limitations in the face of certain mysteries. It is an icon of human curiosity, of the fascination with the unknown, and of the tireless search for answers that, often, may never come. And now I ask you, is the Voynich Manuscript just a riddle lost in time, or are we facing knowledge that was never meant to be revealed? While scientists, religious leaders, and conspiracists fight for answers, the book continues to guard its secrets. But maybe, just maybe, it was never written to be understood by us. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments, like and share this video to spread the mystery, and of course, subscribe to the channel, because new secrets are yet to be revealed, and you won't want to miss them.